Hi, Scorpio. This is Jeffrey, and this is your three-card reading. This is right color. This is your three-card reading for the week of November 22nd through November 29th, including Thanksgiving. First off, I wanted to say thank you. I have a lot of new subscribers, comments, and readings, and I really appreciate it. I really deeply appreciate it. That being said, please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. And I am giving a special till November. I'm offering a special till November 30th of a 30-minute reading for $30. I'm on the East Coast. I know you're wondering where I'm from. Okay. So I do a three-card reading, and this is the end of your birthday week or your birthday month. And happy birthday. Hope you had a lovely birthday. Okay. Okay. Away we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we start with the page. So pages, all pages are young. They're inexperienced. So there's something about the page that he has enthusiasm, but he doesn't have experience. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it's good to have one or the other, actually. And sometimes I like to be around young people because they're more enthusiastic, more like, yeah, we could do it, as opposed to somebody at a certain age that says, I already tried that, ain't gonna work. But he has a certain enthusiasm. I always feel like he's the student, right? He's the student. He always seems like that to me. He's also, out of all the pages, he's the most grounded because he's the earth sign, right? I do this so that you get the non-glare. If I put on the glasses, forget it. It's like a UFO going through the sky. Then, sorry, you get the 5. So this is a funny little card. This is first of all, 5 is about change. Okay, so maybe there's something you have to learn. Okay, about change. So he, you know, he won the battle, but at what cost? At what cost? It's kind of like, this is a little bit, I always feel like this card is a little bit of an I told you so card. It's like, you know, you can have, sometimes, you know you're right, but you don't have to tell everyone you're right. You know, if you keep on going, I'm right, then, you know, people are going to be like, know it all. You know, I already know you're right. You don't have to add salt to the wound. Then you have the weird, I'm trying not to curse. That's the most difficult part. The technical part actually is not easy for me, but the not cursing is even more difficult. Then you have that weird, it's so weird. Look at these little symbols. They're so strange. This is, you know, I don't know if that's a statue. I guess that could be like a godhead, a ghost. Snakes are actually good. It's wisdom. Victory, the typhon, what that flower's love. What the hell is that thing? A castle. An ice castle, sort of. Illusion. Okay, so being that I see him as the student, for some reason I always see him as the student, much more than other cards. I would be wary. I'm a Scorpio, so I can read you. I would be weary of my tongue this week. I understand as a Scorpio, you know, when you take out that stinger, it's because somebody really hurt me deep. Like if I take out my stinger, and I'm a stellium Scorpio, I'm like a real, I have like 3 planets and 2 or 3 asteroids in Scorpio. So I'm really like in it. I'm a 14-degree Scorpio. I'm like a, you know, I'm not like a Scorpio that's like balanced in Libra, and I'm not a Scorpio that's like enthusiastic in Sagittarius. I'm a Scorpio who wants to go to the bottom of the lake. So what I kind of have to say is it's not your job to teach anyone any lessons. It's not your job to teach anyone any lessons. Everybody learns their own lessons when they learn them. You know, I think some of the hardest things about being a parent, not that I'm a parent, I mean, I have a teddy bear, but it's a little different. Sometimes I think the hardest thing about being a parent, I'm sort of like a dad to people anyway. And I have been really for a long time, even though I'm younger than young. You have to allow people the dignity of making their own mistakes. You know, if they ask for your opinion, then you give your opinion. But then when they don't follow it, let them not follow it. You know. But if they come back and they go, oh, well, you know, I should have listened to you. Don't say I told you so. Don't say I told you so. It's just it's not compassionate. Do you want to hear that? I don't want to hear it. They're already beating themselves up. They don't need any help, especially not from a forked tongue. Okay. That's kind of my take for the week. It's kind of my take for the week. And the other thing is, don't, you have to choose your battles really wisely. You have to, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? And sometimes it's enough to know that you're right without having to like announce it to the world. Be secretive, you know? It's, you know, everybody gets their just due anyway. You know, you don't have to be the one to like serve it, because they'll serve it to when people dig their own graves, you could just sit back and watch. You don't have to go help them dig it. You don't have to push them in the hole. And I know it's tempting, and I know, you know, for that moment of satisfaction. The reason I'm really going into that place, because you know, I love Scorpio, because I am a Scorpio and have a lot of Scorpios around me. The reason I'm really going to that place this week, because usually I'm all light and bright, is because of this one. Because sometimes we're not really seeing things clearly. We're seeing what we want to see. And I understand, you know, believe me. You know, we see what we want to see. And so there's a little bit of cloudiness is what I'm trying to say. There's a little cloudiness in maybe an affront that you don't have to go down that road, because it's not a big enough deal. That, you know, the thing is about all these cards, none of these are like powerhouse. There's not a powerhouse card on the whole thing. None of these are like, wow, none of them. So what I'm saying is like there's a petty thing going on, and it's like, whatever. Just change the station. You know, and you listen to the radio or the TV or whatever, and you don't like some, so you turn to another station. That's all. You're in the middle of the movie, and you know, you're like 30 minutes in. It's like, I don't care if they live or die. You know, I don't really care if they solve the crime. I don't really care. This is boring, and it's not even well produced. So turn the station off. You don't have to, it's not worth it. Not this week. Maybe next week. Maybe next week we get to take the stinger out. And you know as well as I know, we have such a bad rap. Scorpio and Leo get the worst rap because they're the strongest signs. So you know as well as I know, like we sting ourselves first. I've stung myself 1,000 times before I make a decision to sting you. I do more than sting. I cut them out like they never existed. I become iced down. It ain't worth it. Not this week. And also just as an overall, everyone's going through a really hard time right now. Nobody knows what's secure. Nobody knows what's safe. Nobody knows what's solid because nothing is. And a lot of us and society as a whole at this moment in time is really in a state of mourning for like the life that was, even though it wasn't perfect, it was something we knew. And, people have lost people. People have lost jobs. They lost money. They lost income. They lost relationships, et cetera, et cetera. So let's try to let's just sit and have a nice meal together. Let's just, have a cup of tea. Let's just, because everyone's already going through it. So, and what I'm saying is, believe me, when it's time for you to take out the stinger and I'm feeling it and I see it in the cards, I'm going to tell you, take out that stinger and do 4 of them, but not now, because it's unnecessary, and if there's venom in the stinger, right, then you have to use it wisely because it's not an endless amount, so you have to, it's like being frugal, right, with your money, or with like if you only have $100 to spend on groceries, it's like, well, how am I going to, I have to get protein, I have to get vegetables, I have to get fruit, I need like oil, basic things like oil, blah, 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 so you have to be wise in how you dole it out. And there's nothing this week that says, So that's my little take for the week. And that's my take. Blessings. And thank you very much for all the subscriptions, all the comments. If you want a reading one-on-one, $30, 30 minutes, the information is below. So you have to click on the button on my website and then write me an email saying, Tuesday is good for me, la, 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 la. Or I'll get back to you. We'll work it out. We'll do it over Zoom, or we could do WhatsApp. I don't have FaceTime, sorry. And I'm not going to get it, whatever. But phone reading's good too. Anyway, that's that. Thank you. See you soon.